All right, so you've probably heard about it by now. The world first cheating controversy. This is big, big news. Yesterday, we were raiding, and Ren said that his spouse came in and said that they had heard about it on the news. Like their spouse doesn't play Final Fantasy 14. Like is not in tune with Final Fantasy 14 at all, and was like, "Hey, I heard that in Final Fantasy 14 people are cheating." So that's bad. That's how you know it's blown up too far. Is when people who do not follow Final Fantasy 14 are talking about it. Okay, so it's not a good look overall. This was when it first came out. The top 3 trending hashtags in Japan: world first, Zoom hack, third-party tools. So how do you think Yoshi P felt waking up the next day? Yeah, this is that's really how I felt too. Oof. I can't imagine. I feel like well, we'll get to it. But from what I've seen, I have never seen him so mad. Okay. Like, the man has been chain smoking lately already before this. He's not sleeping. He has been chain smoking, and this is not helping. Yeah, here's an article I've seen about it where the Omega Protocol world first won by cheating. So what exactly were the cheats? Here's the video that was leaked about. Oh. So I think that this was leaked by somebody who was sitting on their team as a support. So basically somebody who is not in the instance, but who is watching what's going on and calling out mechanics and figuring shit out because they don't have to worry about a rotation. That's very common. I don't personally see an issue with that, but you can probably see what the actual issue is. Because, what is this, an arena for ants? Did they make the arena very small? No. No, they didn't shrink the arena. They have zoomed out way too far, illegally far. They are playing from the moon. They heard we were going to the moon in Endwalker and took it pretty seriously. Yeah, it's very far. JP brain dead NASA strap. So of course, this blew up immediately. I think when I'd first seen the video posted on Twitter, there was 1 million views in like hours. I think one of the reasons with the past DSR, with the past Ultimate World First Race, there was also plugin controversy. But this really exploded, and the memes though. Now I haven't actually seen all the memes. So, first things first. But I'm nothing without add-ons. If you're nothing without add-ons, then you shouldn't have it. I mean, true. Yeah. Wait. What is this? Wait, what's this ad? Wait. What the fuck? Look. I went to Reddit to click on to see this meme, and this is an actual ad that's under it. What the fuck? Says zoom, zoom, zoom. Something epic is getting closer. Oh no. Samsung. That's a low blow, okay? You're gonna start advertising Zoom in the Final Fantasy 14 subreddit. That's dirty. Of course, there has been a Lodestone post about it. Let's see. I haven't read it yet. I've been saving all this for y'all. We're all gonna look at it together. Can't believe this though. Regarding illicit activities in the Omega Protocol. Hi, it's Naoki Yoshida, producer and director, Final Fantasy XIV. I probably don't need to read all of it. How long is it? Oh, my lord. Okay, let's read fast. There's been information concerning instances of unfair play identified in the community. Regarding the use of third-party tools, we are aware of information that's being spread regarding the use of third-party tools. We are conducting an investigation. There have been self-confessions. We will enact penalties such as temporary account suspension or permabans to those involved. However, details on any punishments enacted will not be publicized. This has been the case in other similar instances. This is not a result of any desire to hide punishments, nor is it to make it seem as though punishments are not given. It's because of a firm belief that penalties are enacted against an individual and part of our operations, therefore should not be public. Okay. But as soon as players find out what happened, it is going to be publicized. Okay. When other instances of unfair play were identified during previous Ultimate raids, we enacted penalties at that time as well. We have not and will not overlook this kind of wrongdoing. So what he's saying is, it might have seemed like we never did anything about this, but we just didn't publicize what we were doing. So we haven't been doing nothing. It's just clearly it's ongoing. As I've mentioned, third-party tools are strictly prohibited. What? But this has always been the case and will continue to be so. Unless announced otherwise, there are no plans to enact any changes. I've seen posts from individuals that say things like, Yoshida allows the use of third-party tools, so it's fine to use them. Who says this? Who is saying that? Who is writing this on the internet? However, let me make it clear. I have never permitted the use of these tools. You may find information below, which outline my stance. Oh, the 2020 one. Is that the one about the lewd mods? Yeah, I think that was, no, that was before. No, that must have been 2017 or something. We have confirmed that a video showing the cutscene that plays upon clearing the Omega Protocol at a time before the fight had been cleared was posted on video upload sites. It was leaked. Yeah, I heard that part of the fight was leaked. But wasn't it more than that? We conducted an investigation and saw the cause of the issue through sending a cleverly disguised but illicit information packet from the user's end. While on the public game server, it's possible to manipulate the playback condition flag intended for use while we're playing cutscenes. Oh, so they exploited it. But what about the leak of the whole last part of the fight? Like, was that real? Did they investigate that? This was an actual hack, yeah. But due to other illicit actions, we had to take steps to adjust the timing at which cutscene resources are applied to the client, but because of the above incident, the cutscene resources became illicitly obtainable, even though proper countermeasures have been taken. Damn. They went through all this work just to look at the last cutscene that plays? What? Like, that's not gonna tell you shit about the fight. Like, I don't understand what's the... It's not even that good. It's like 5 seconds. Okay, we found out who did it. All right, I kind of, you know, whatever. I don't care about that. That doesn't affect me in any way. If someone wants to look at the cutscene. Separate from the above incident, we've also confirmed that a small portion of footage that is not possible to record on a public game server had also been circulating. Oh, is that what I'm talking about? the P6 leak. The video recordings, it was a leak from the inside. They're continuing thorough investigations on this matter, and firm punishment will be given to anyone who's identified as the perp. Good. That's a serious, serious issue. This is really bad. This is the thing they really need to figure out who did it, and quick. Okay. In closing, it is extremely disappointing for me personally to see this commotion surrounding third-party tools once again in the wake of what just happened in DSR. As the individual who's entrusted with full supervision over FFXIV, it is my responsibility to enact countermeasures and police the use of these tools, as well as educate people to not use these types of third-party tools. It is especially unfortunate when I, a gamer, am cheering everyone on who is learning this content by trial and error and putting in the effort to clear. Yeah. I feel the same. But we'll talk about that right after this. Although unofficial, I'm of course apprised of the race to the world first clear. We've shown our support for everyone in the community by sharing information on the first clears once multiple clear teams came forth. Exact clear times had been confirmed. However, as announced in a previous statement, I plan to refrain from doing so for the time being. We hear the community voice that an official raid race should be supported. Yeah. And regulations should be decided upon. This is a topic which needs to be discussed internally. So please allow me to keep this as an item for future consideration. That's really good that he actually said that. I'm really happy to hear him say that. I feel like that's nicer than he needs to be right now. But that's great. They need to consider that. They really, really need to consider making an official race. Where they can monitor everything, make it a really big deal. The Ultimate Raid series is the most difficult battle content in FFXIV, and we released this content after testing that it can be cleared without the use of any third-party tools. However, if the presumption is that this content will be tackled and cleared with the use of third-party tools, then any reason to develop high-difficulty battle content seems to be lost. It's very difficult for me to understand as a gamer what the meaning behind using numerous third-party tools to compete to clear first would be. Yeah, you think about like the people on the battle team that spend months, literally months, working on these puzzles for the content. Incredibly intricate mazes that are set up, like all the mechanics are designed to go off at very specific intervals and in very specific geometric patterns. They spend literally months figuring all that shit out. And then they see somebody just installed an add-on that told them all the answers right away. Like, I would feel like shit if you did that. I would feel like shit as a battle designer if you had seen that happening. That would suck. I want to apologize specifically to the many of you who are continuing towards clearing this content without the use of third-party tools, consistently streaming your progress, and continuing the trial and error process. However, please know the development and operations teams take notice of all your passion. Please be sure to take proper care of yourselves as you continue to tackle the Omega Protocol. He's so nice even here. If the illicit use of third-party tools is made clear through our investigations, I, at the very least, will not recognize that team as the true world first. So this is a thing that had a lot of people worried, right? And it's a great question that he asked. What is the point of them spending all this time, money, resources, and effort making this content if people are just gonna download all the solutions and automate it and like zoom out more and like play it in a way that it wasn't intended to be played? So people have said, you know, maybe they're just not going to make it anymore. Like if this goes on, they might just stop making it. They might just stop doing Ultimate. Because how many people even clear a damn Ultimate? Like 1% of the player base. But the thing is, Arthur's came out and he had said that this is incredibly common in the world first proggers. I wouldn't know. I've never done world first. My experience with top has been, well, my experience with DSR was my first time doing hardcore raiding in this game, and top has been the first time I ever tried to go hard on content week 1. So I don't know what the world first scene is like. I'm a baby in this scene. But Arthur said, listen everyone, not throwing any other teams under the bus or accusing them, but many world first proggers that prog off stream use third-party stuffs like that. It's even more disgusting than you think. Not defending anyone, but I cannot believe so many people didn't expect. But with DSR, yeah, they did suspend a bunch of people that were using third-party tools in the DSR race. And then they added functionality to the game that does some of the stuff that some of those tools were doing before. Like now you can see on the party list how much time is left on people's debuffs. Maybe soon we'll be able to zoom out a lot more. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But yeah, I mean what they did back then I think was a warning shot. So it really should come as no surprise that they put the boot down harder this time. It is not just a slap on the wrist like usual. They actually did something. So I saw this. This is the update to the situation that is developing. So Arthur's actually translated this. He said, holy shit, I've played this game for 10 years. I've never ever seen Square Enix and its GM take such drastic action. They are literally removing all achievements, gear, and title from the associates of the World First team, despite them not directly found guilty of cheating. And I'm actually going to pull up this video Arthur's made where he translated this.
Haruka got banned? Sorry for the delay in posting. I have received judgment in in the game, within the game, regarding the 14 community, people who have supported me, friends and everybody who have supported me. I'm really sorry. He have retracted the clear report. Okay. Haruka at least is not gonna quit, right? Thank God. I don't think you need to go that far to quit the game. I think just let it ride, give it a couple of months, everybody will be fine. You can still continue to enjoy the game, you can still raid, you know? Everybody deserves a second chance, right? They can come back stronger, right? So right now...
I actually completely agree with that. I do completely agree with that. There's no reason that they can't learn from their mistake, come back stronger, and not do it later. As simple as that. It sucks that it happened. But I do agree, everybody deserves a second chance.
Now he's still thinking.
And by the way, Des here in the chat, you said Stahl made a good point a few days ago that people that do not use these plugins or mods while competing in the world race are actively giving themselves a handicap during it, because at this point, it's basically expected to use triggers during races. And that's true. Like, if you know anything about how World First works in games, usually these are people that will take any advantage available to them. And it just sucks. Like, that should not extend to cheating, though. Like, I think it's pretty obvious where the line is. At least I thought so.
About, you know, what...
Like, there's a reason why this blew up so much, okay? There's a reason why everybody that had seen the clip of the zooming out to outer space was like, damn, that you definitely shouldn't be able to do that. Like, there was no debate among people like, oh, is this an advantage or not? No, everybody was like, what the fuck? So sometimes people act like the line is more blurry than it is.
He's gonna do in the future for the game, but he will not repeat the same mistake. Thank you. I am the game master. I have been...
So this is the message that he's translating from the game master to one of the people that was on this team.
Summoned for a case. This is something very important and I need you to listen to me very carefully. You, in the ultimate Omega protocol, we have confirmed that your prog party has committed inappropriate behavior. Although you are not directly associated with the inappropriate behavior, but you are someone in this scenario that reaped the benefit of this inappropriate behavior. Because you are not directly associated with this inappropriate behavior, your account is not gonna get an actual penalty, but then through this inappropriate behavior, the reward that you gain is going to be confiscated. Your achievement and your title and the item will be deleted in the coming days.
Yeah.
I have never seen them do anything like this.
I've never seen them do anything this crazy.
I've never seen Final Fantasy XIV.
I had never thought it would happen.
I never thought I would see these days.
Do you realize how insane this is? Like, they usually, they really do a slap on the wrist most of the times. But this time, they're like, even though you didn't personally run it, you reap the benefit of it, and we're going to delete your weapon.
Dude, Yoshi P is mad.
Yeah. This is a new era in the way that they are policing this crap. It is clear that they've seen that what they were doing before wasn't working. So they are going to be a lot more strict about it. They're going to be a lot tougher about it. My question is, like, how much tougher and tougher are they going to have to get on it before things start to change, before community perception starts to change? So yeah, they actually did something, and now you can be guilty by association. They deleted the weapons. They have removed the achievements for all of the members of Unnamed. That's the group. That was their group name, Unnamed. And not just the ones that were caught actively using the cheats. So, yeah, it is good. I think it's very good. And I think it's going to cause ripples across the community, not just in the World First realm. Like, to be fair, though, like, I'm pretty sure that everybody in Unnamed definitely knew about the Zoom hacks. Like, the leak was a screen share from a Discord from their support person who was analyzing stuff for them. So yeah, like, they were looking at it, they were watching it, they were collaborating about it and talking about it. They were all well aware about it happening. And definitely reaping the benefit of it. Like, that much is clear. Okay, so we can't act like, oh, well, it's just that someone in the group was using it. It's not exactly like that. But now we do have another witch hunt happening, I've seen, just like we did back with the DSR race, with people going out with their pitchforks and trying to expose people for having anybody in their group that used any kind of plugin, because now it's guilt by association. You can be an accomplice to the crime just by being in a group with somebody who did it. So as I've had discussions about this with our team leads in my top static, and because it's clear now, like, we all have to take extra measures now to make sure that nobody is cheating with this kind of crap installed. Like, the last thing that I want to do is spend 100 hours on a fight and then I have to deal with consequences because some person on the team had a cheat on and I didn't even know about it. Like, in my static, I made an announcement yesterday, and I was like, do not use them. We don't think anyone is, but just in case you are and you didn't tell anybody, stop it. Don't do it. But we're on the honor system, basically. Like, how the hell am I going to know? We're going to make everybody stream? ACT is, ACT is probably fine. How are you going to, rating without ACT, I feel like is going to be pretty difficult. The question a lot of people have been asking is, where do we draw the line? What qualifies? That's what you just brought up with ACT. ACT only has triggers if you, go out of your way to install that shit extra. As a baseline, it just reads out the damage and healing and stuff that happened. I mean, I would say, I thought, like I said before, I think the line is clear, or I thought I did. I would say stuff like Cactbot, stuff like Splatoon. Actually, let me show you a picture, because I was talking about this with Saya yesterday. He sent me this screenshot. I don't know where he found it, but I guess somebody was streaming with this crap. This is called Splatoon, I think. Now, if you've been watching my top prog, you might be familiar with this little mechanic. See that? We've seen that quite a bit. It shows you where the AoEs are on the ground. And if you've been watching me try to learn this damn fight, you know it took me like a while to learn how to read that and react quickly. And I've been complaining about it all the way. That's the mechanic. The whole difficulty of the mechanic is figuring out where they are. Does she have shoes on? Does he have a shield? That's the fun part. That's why it's fun to do. Like, why are you raiding? Why are you raiding if you're using this? Why are you doing it? I don't understand. I genuinely do not understand. What is fun about this? Like, have you ever been to a corn maze? Where? Really? I've been to a few. You get there, and the farmers like carved a labyrinth through all the corn, and the whole fun of it is figuring out where the hell to go. You're like, oh, I already came this way. Oh, there's a fucking rattlesnake this way. That's probably the wrong way. I feel like some of y'all would show up, pay $5, turn around and get back in the car and say, okay, thank you. That was really fun. I mean, I've seen the outside of it. What are you doing? Why are you paying money to do this? It doesn't make any sense. There are better ways you could spend your time. A new Zepla saying cheating in Ultima is like bringing a chainsaw to a corn maze. It really is just like that. It really is. You don't pay my corn maze entry fee. No, I don't. But, look, I'm going to be real honest with y'all. I am not. I don't feel like I'm on a moral high ground here at all. Okay, I don't want to sit up here on my high horse. Like, I have never encountered any of this shit happening in a raid. Like, I do not run plugins. I have ACT. I have used G-Shade. I do not even use chat bubbles on the screen, even though I really would like to. I don't. But in DSR, we did sometimes have people using the auto markers on raw flames. That's very common for people to do. Not all the time, but some people, it was their preference to do it that way. And I really just looked the other way. I did. And that's on me, man. I gotta take the L for that. I shouldn't have looked the other way. But I mean, at the same time, it didn't seem like a big deal. Because it just puts markers on people, and other times people would do it with macros instead. It was just kind of up to the decision of whoever was in charge of that. Both ways felt the same to me, so I could take it or leave it. Didn't feel like a big difference. So it was, for me, it was easy to just say, eh. I thought, like, well, you know, that's their PC, that's their account. If that's how they want to do it, fine. No. I couldn't believe that I found anybody willing to get double fisted by Nidhogg for 10 hours at a time. I was like, well, this doesn't seem to affect me, so whatever. However they want to do it, fine. And honestly, it's such a common attitude. Like, most raiders will agree that auto marker, not a big deal. But not everyone would say that, and I just feel like we can't do that anymore because it isn't just their problem. It's not just their PC. Like, I was complicit. Everybody is complicit. Myself included. Really. So it is really an L on my end for looking the other way. I shouldn't have. Because Yoshi P takes it very seriously, even if it is something minor. And I also think that it is hypocritical to say, oh, well, we, the community, agreed that, you know, this plugin is fine. Because where does it end? I feel like we're just moving the goalpost all the time. Like, in the past, I would have been like, oh, well, Square Enix, they only ever do a slap on the wrist. As people just keep pushing the line further and further. And I feel like I was complicit in the line getting pushed. But just saying, oh, whatever. It wasn't even that, like, it would have been easy for me to just say, don't do it. I should have. But, you know. So, yeah. I actually remember the first time that someone recommended using auto markers. It was on Uwu. And I remember saying no. Because at the time, I didn't know what it was. I was like, I don't know what that is. It sounds like some kind of a plugin. No. Let's do it let's do it with macros. And they're like, literally everybody does it. It's fine. Like, don't worry about it. And I said no. And then years later, when I'm now like, I'm more in tune with what's generally accepted and perceptions of things. So I felt like it was more, like, I felt like it was more okay now than before, even though nothing actually changed. So it's just our perceptions that have changed. And we got to reel it in. And I'm speaking for myself here too. Did I not benefit from somebody in the group using a plugin in the same way as these people who had their weapons deleted? Even though they were not confirmed to be running any of that shit themselves. No. Well, honestly, no. Like, I mean, look, let's not get stupid about it. Okay. Really? Like, slapping a red #1 mark on my ass is not the same as zooming out to the event horizon, okay? Let's be realistic here. If I had seen somebody in my team with a screenshot of their character that was taken from the fucking asteroid belt, I'd say, get the fuck out of my team. What are you doing? Okay. All right. Okay, it's not exactly the same. But who knows? I didn't ask for screenshots. I didn't ask to see people's clips. I didn't say people need to stream. I didn't like check. I didn't give a shit. I got nothing to worry about in Ultimate besides what everybody else is doing. But now I'm going to have to check on that too. Now I do have to check on that. Now I do have to make sure that everybody on the team is not using this kind of shit. Any kind of it. This is our responsibility now. You said my opinion on this has always been that I don't care what people use because it doesn't personally impact me. That's what I was thinking before as well. Right? You said, however, that being said, when tools become a crutch or actively harm the integrity of something, such as in this case of Zoom, that's when I personally draw my line. I'm no stranger to using the plugins for Ultimate content, actively used auto marker for UWU and DSR because of the community's perception about it. But I still feel as though for certain things, such as Zoom or Platoon, are too much. They are, but there's really like something like auto marker. It's so easy to just not do that. Because we actually did it both ways. Like, we had people do macros sometimes. We had no markers sometimes, just look at your debuff. So, like, to me, it was just like, whatever, you know. So why do the risk? Why have the risk? It's not worth it. It's not worth risking all of your credibility for something so stupid and so, like, small. That would have been it would have been just as easy to say don't as it was to look the other way. And that's why that's on me. I also heard actually that AutoMarker had its functionality expanded and now it does more than that. Like now it can do other stuff. I don't know if that's true. But it's just like, are these things that were accepted, that were innocent, are they going to be like gateway drugs for the community where people just start looking for more and more shortcuts and hacks, and pretty soon we're not even playing the same game anymore? Like I feel like we gotta reel it in overall. My policy has usually been to mind my own business. That's generally what I try to do most of the time. But now it's like everybody's business is my business, at least on my team. We've got to start taking more responsibility for what goes on in our statics. Because let's be honest, like, I think if it helps the run go smoother, we all benefited from the plugin. But how would you know? Like, I'm looking back to my T-Clear. I got no idea what people were fucking using back then. How many people were using cheats and I didn't even know about it? Did I benefit there too? Maybe. How the hell would I know? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. And it could happen at any time in any content that you do in the game. You could even just be a console player. You can't even install a plugin yourself, but you could be in a group where somebody is using it and makes it easier for them. And it makes the run go smoother. So in a way, you did benefit. This is a new era. And so we can all change the way that we look at it, take more responsibility for our teams going forward. That's it, you know? Like, it's just people have gotten so damn bold. I have seen T groups that require CACBot. So it'll call out everything you need to do for calibration at the start of the cast bar. We got people literally selling paid mods. Like, one day the chickens are gonna come home to roost. Like, good luck finding an UWU group that isn't demanding you use auto marker. We can't keep it on like this. Something has to change. It has really just been this slippery slope. And the end result has been experienced raiders who don't really need the stuff, or like, oh, well, this one's harmless. It's okay, I guess. If you want to use it, it's fine. And then new raiders who actually rely on these tools because they're not confident, they don't have the experience yet. They use them as a crutch. And it's very tempting for them to, after using an okay one, are then like, well, what else can I download that can help me? You know, it's a short-term gain that is going to stunt your growth as a player in the long run. Really getting off track, I think. Like, the conversation is mostly about rampant cheating at the world first level. These people got punished pretty severely, I would say. I heard some of them even deleted their characters. They're being mocked. They are shunned. They could even lose their jobs over this shit. Like, they know. Okay, they know they shouldn't have done that. They're aware at this point. We really don't need internet busybodies running after them and anybody else who they think is breaking the rules to try and expose people who associate with anyone who might have touched a Glade plugin. Like, damn, I wish Square would just hire some of y'all. Maybe maybe they would get some of the reports looked at finally. Why are you doing their work for free? Why are you doing Square Enix's work for free? Though I know that's rich coming from me. I literally sit here advertising the game all the time. But still. They cheated in a video game. Some of y'all acting like they shot Harambe. Like, if this feels like the news of the century to you, you probably need to go out and touch grass. Okay? I mean that in the nicest way. With all that said, yes, like, it's true. We could all be suffering the consequences as it appears that they are running out of patience. They're taking stronger and stronger measures. I feel like a lot of y'all are not nearly as afraid as you need to be of Japanese legal teams or of corporate Square Enix once they get their hands in it. The second that Square Enix's own legal team gets involved, cease and desists, bans, copyright strikes, this can start flying out really fast. People who make these tools can get sent to court. I don't think anything that drastic is going to happen soon. But I see so many people pretending like it can't happen, it won't ever happen, it's not likely, it's impossible. You're kidding yourself if you think that. I think that's very naive. There was a time when Square Enix would not let you monetize FF14 in any way. When the game first released, YouTube or Twitch or anything, you could not monetize the game. And now people are selling paid mods for it. I've seen some people saying that they don't believe Square Enix would ever just stop making Ultimates because it's good for marketing of the game. But when have they cared about marketing Ultimates? They barely acknowledge it, even before all this was going on. Maybe they already decided that they wanted to stop making Ultimates, and that's why they made an Ultimate that was really fucking terrible to prog, so everybody would just say, oh, well, good riddance. I'm just kidding. No, I don't think so. We'll make an Ultimate that's so terrible, nobody will want it anymore. Anyways, so. I'm just kidding. But I don't trust Square Enix to make good marketing choices, that's all I'm saying. Their marketing for Island Sanctuary was literally a week of a camera angled at a chicken who just sat there for a whole week. That's it. That was it. That was the whole marketing plan. When the game was too popular for Endwalker, they stopped selling it and advertising it. And they literally said, stop playing our game. The pool is closed. They already said they're not going to acknowledge world first race when they barely did it in the first place. So, Yoshi P responding as harshly as he did and as fast as he did, it surprised me a lot. But it does it makes me feel like we are teetering on the edge and the limits of his patience.